そんなことはさせないぞ, Star Fox. Did you guys hear that they put a fox in space? What do they think of next? Can you believe it? I can't believe it. Hi, everyone. We're going to play some Star Fox. Star Fox today. I am going to start with... yeah, by the way, I'm getting right into this. No preamble today. We don't need no preamble. We're going right in. Y'all may know there's a new game coming out next week. It's just called Star Fox again. After so many goddamn Star Fox games. But there's a new one coming out. And you know what? I like Star Fox. I'm not good at all of them, but I like them. And I figure it's time we revisit what, in my opinion, are the most iconic two, which is 1 and 64. And to be honest with you, I will probably displease people who are good at Star Fox 64 today, because I don't think I'm great at it. Turn this down a little bit. Right, okay. Yep. I have a big history with Star Fox 1. I'm also not amazing at Star Fox 1, but I think I may be a little more competent than I am at Star Fox 64. But you know what? Let's see. Let's find out. Hi, Red Spectra. What's up? We're playing... Did you hear they put a fox in space? Did you hear about this? I can't believe it myself. Science. What will science think of next? They put him in space. He flies a ship and everything. I'm a big fan of Control Type B, personally. Yeah, this is back when Star Fox games let you pick a control type. Maybe this is the only game that did that. I like to have blaster on the lower button, and I like to have brake right above that, because the thing about a Star Fox game is that you always should be braking more than you do. And this is true of myself, too. I often forget my own advice. But, you go a little too fast sometimes, and it makes it a little bit difficult to not slam into things. And so I gotta keep telling myself, put on the brake, slow down! This is a neighborhood. This is the planet Corneria, which is a neighborhood. So yeah, we're gonna be running through the easy routes of both of these today. I think I won't at least do horribly. Where is it? Good luck. This one will be doing the English version. This has no dialogue anyway. This is, honestly, if you ask me, I would have preferred if the Star Fox characters all continued to talk like ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Like, they got no business having real voices. At least not in my opinion. But we're gonna get real voices in Star Fox 64, and I think every game from that point on. So, we'll deal. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Alright, that's what we like to see. And I know people have their preferences, like probably most people would say 64 was their favorite, if I'm guessing. I will not say that. I will definitely say that this is my favorite, actually. If you make me pick. I like 64 just fine, I just don't really have the history with it that a lot of people do. I was on a bit of a, maybe a bit of a video game lull during when that game came out. Oh, not until the 3DS version. I've actually never played the 3DS version. I've heard it's a pretty darn fateful recreation of that original, of the original 64. And they didn't do too much crazy stuff there. And I doubt we'll get to 64 3D tonight, but I would like to check it out sometime just to see how well they did. Played a bunch of SNES Star Fox. Yeah, I have very fond memories of As soon as I found out that my local Toys R Us had this game available, I biked up to the Toys R Us and I bought it immediately with the money that I had saved because Nintendo Power sure did get me. Oops. But you know, that's how it was, right? And this game has a pretty surprising amount of replayability, I feel like. Oops, all things considered. Because you got, you know, you got 3 routes. And you got 3 routes in 64 as well, of course, but I can never get this stupid UFO. I don't know why. I mean, I don't think it's supposed to be very easy to get, but it always stymies me pretty much every time. And yeah, I'm not really gonna do like 100% runs or like medal runs when we get to 64. Like, I'm not that good at this. When I pull off 100% in this, on any level in this, it's more by accident than it is on purpose. Because in this one, it's very funny. Like, you have to hit specific enemies. Like, some enemies count for the percentage, some don't. And, like, you kind of just have to know. And I don't know. I never really bothered to learn that because, like, unless you're really just trying to challenge yourself, you don't particularly need, you don't particularly need to get those perfect scores, I don't feel like. And look at that. At least I can still complete the first level. Without too much trouble. Once we get into some of the later ones, it'll be a little more touch and go for me, but I think as long as it's the easy route, I can still do it. Honestly, the easy route is the only one that I never really bothered to learn all that well. I dabbled on some of the other ones, but, oh hey, 95, pretty close. And like, the thing I like, one of the things I like about this over Star Fox 64 is that, like, your teammates can take damage if you don't save them, but, like, it doesn't seem to happen as quickly. And so it's a lot harder, maybe on the harder routes it's a lot easier to have happen, but it's, your teammates just don't die as easy as they do in I mean, they don't die, they come back after like a round or whatever, but they don't get damaged as easily as they do in 64 there.
Good luck.
Good luck. And then of course we get the in the cockpit view here. Oops. Which you can switch in and out of on some of these levels, but I don't. It seems like the space ones are kind of meant for these. And you've got no charge shot in this like you do in 64. That was an invention specifically for 64. The centipedes, you got to shoot all the stupid, like, all their parts that break off to count. It's a big pain. And this game doesn't keep track. You know, there are no medals in this like there are in Star Fox 64 particularly. So it's like your score, your percentage score at the end of the level is just your score there, and then it doesn't matter anymore, you know? So much, a little more, I mean, they're both pretty arcadey. Both 64 and this, but like I feel like this is arcadey-er for that reason, if nothing else. But yeah, I'd be Red Spectra shared their preference with us. I'd be curious what other folks think. If you're more of a 64 person or more of an original person, or well, I mean, well, hell, maybe you are that person who thinks Star Fox Command is amazing. You know, there's got to be someone out there. I don't think Star Fox Command is horrible. I just don't think it's... And no, we're not going to do the warp. We're going to go straight on through. Like God intended. Ah, Chibi UFO, you've arrived. Yes, as you can see, we're just doing easy routes. I'm not any kind of Star Fox professional or anything like that. I mostly really only know the easy routes, to be honest with you. Yeah, just until you can yell at me for shoot. Yes, 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 I know, I know. Yes, the very Christian video game Star Fox. Absolutely. Fox McCloud and his Christian values. Yeah, I like, I feel like your favorite is 64. Yeah, I feel like that's the more common answer. I like 64. Not saying I don't. I'm not nearly as good at it. You'll probably become frustrated, when you see my Star Fox 64 performance. I'm sure. But, that's okay. We'll make do. Bomb one of these here. Since I believe we only have a maximum of 5 bombs in the original Star Fox here. This isn't 64 where we've got like 9 or some absurd amount like that, right? And then that comes flying off, right? Yeah. And then we're just barrel rolling around as much as we can here while we shoot. There we go. Yeah, and I brushed up a little bit on my easy route stuff because it had been years since I played this or Star Fox 64, and so I think I'm a little bit better than I would be if I was just going in cold. But this one definitely came back to me a little bit more quickly because I just spent more time with this one than I did 64. I was saying earlier, like I was on a little bit of a. Not a complete video game hiatus, but I was playing video games a little bit less during a lot of the N64 era. I was getting more into anime and doing music stuff and things like that, so I don't have as much experience with a lot of N64 titles as I do. And then kind of after that, I came back a little bit, like as we got into... Oh, there's the star. As we got into like the PS2 and whatnot. Yeah, the SNES soundtrack is so good. I love it. And I think when we switch over to 64, we're gonna do the Japanese version. Maybe some folks haven't heard what Star Fox 64 sounds like in Japanese. So I thought that might be fun. I have an Analogue 3D sitting over here that I've never used. I bought it and have never used it. Well, I used it preparing for this, and I have an original Star Fox 64 Japanese cartridge sitting in it. So we're gonna play it on that because why not? I ask. I also have a Super Famicom cartridge, but I didn't want to also bring up the Sufami. And also the Analogue 3D, so I was like, we'll pick one. The other one can just be emulated. That's what I'm supposed to shoot. Nah, I didn't get all 3 of them. Maybe I did. What's up, Retro G? What's up? Welcome to the Armada. That's not like what I'm calling us or anything. This level is the Armada. So, welcome. Yeah, I honestly, the Analogue 3, did I not? Why didn't I go in there? That's weird. Did I not like kill enough enemies or something? Is that a thing? Is there a prerequisite that I needed to meet, which I did not meet? I'm sorry to hear that you could be better. I mean, that doesn't seem like you're doing terrible, but I definitely understand that I could be better. Yeah, I also have a mister. I really didn't need the Analogue 3D, but I was really interested with the idea of the like the overclocking, which I don't think does too much for Star Fox 64. I mean, people who are a bit more familiar with it can tell me themselves whether it like runs faster or not. But that's kind of what made me. Yeah, Analogue's prices are not great. That's for sure. I can begrudge no one. I know it's you, Slippy. I'm not trying to hit you, buddy. Oh, come on, there we go. Ah, oh, that's right, I got shield. Shield! I can't not hear the word shield in Magneto from the X-Men arcade game's voice now. It's no longer possible. I'm afraid I just can't do it. I think this goes up. Yep, okay. I surprised myself with just how much I remembered of this game going in, to be honest. But I did play it quite a bit as a kid. Yeah, I definitely had some spare money laying around when they announced the Analogue 3D, and I'd done the Analogue Duo before that, because, you know, PC Engine, how am I not? Those PC Engine Duos are notoriously unreliable over time, so I was like, I would like a PC Engine Duo that isn't, like, basically guaranteed to shit the bed, and, I engaged, and that was actually, sorry, the Analogue Pocket was actually my first analog product, technically. Ah, I missed the checkpoint. Yeah, the Pocket is a really nice, it is a very nice handheld device, I gotta admit. But, yeah, like all analog stuff, it's pricey. Yeah, I think I still have a Duo R that is functioning, last I checked it. Oh god, that's right. I forgot that's how these doors work. You need to slow down every once in a while. Sometimes you just gotta slow down. Up, and they just kind of alternate. If you shoot, you change the directions, and then it just becomes a huge confusing mess, so I just kind of let it ride, you know? And now I think we can shoot because we just got doors that go off to the side here. Now, I am shockingly bad at this boss, so I hope that I do not mess this up. So what I remember doing is you kind of want to hold to the left, and you want to slow down so you can get all of the things that are attaching it to the wall, like, pretty much as soon as possible. There we go, there we go. And then we can throw some bombs on this fool here. And there we go. That was probably one of my better runs of that boss. Yeah, it's retro collecting is interesting when you're doing real hardware, because like you said, you're sort of incentivized to like be able to repair it or know someone who repairs it. I can do limited repairs. I know people who can do the others, but I understand, you know, like, especially now with things like misters, it's like, I hate to say it, but it's like you're incentivized less and less by the day to do original hardware on a lot of these things. So like it's a different world than it was even, 10 years ago, right? As far as that stuff goes. Like you kind of have better options. And then like the real hardware thing just becomes like a question of nostalgia or whatever, right? And like that's fine. I'm not going to tell people how to use their money, and God knows I still have most of this stuff as real hardware and I have real cartridges and blah blah blah. But it's a less compelling proposition these days for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, there's something to be said for like, I just want a thing that works. I just want to turn on a thing that plays my video games and I just want it to work. Like, that's why people don't, do PCs really so much. PC gaming, which I understand. I invested in a PC when I started doing video editing and started streaming and whatnot. And I took on a little bit more PC gaming with that. But I get it. Like, some days a PC is just a giant pain in the ass. And you just want things to work. So, like, it totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. Give me that ring. But also, like, I have a history of maintaining PCs and doing, like, troubleshooting shit in any way, which I know not everyone does, so I don't mind it as much as some people might. I am definitely not going to get 100% on this stage, that's for sure. Holy cow. I have, like, where are you jerks coming from, for God's sake? And like, weirdly, with how dark this level gets, like, it kinda a little bit messes me up. Nah, no! Okay, good. That ended up working out. I mistimed my boost there. It was so close. I could feel it. Yeah, this is one of those levels that I'm, like, weirdly bad at. Like, I don't know why. I got wing damage! What the hell? Say it ain't so. Shut your mouth, Peppy. And I got no twin blaster for this, which is... Whoa, where did that come from? I did not see that. Don't love this boss either. I may die here. It's possible. So I think you want to bait this guy up so that when he comes down, Alright, yeah, I feel like there's aspects of this guy that I just haven't really quite figured out. Like, sometimes he hits me when I'm flush against the ground, and sometimes he doesn't, even though I'm sure I've stayed high up enough to bait him. See, like there, why that? Did I need to stay up higher long enough? Did I need to stay up higher? Maybe I just need to stay up higher just in general. We got it this time. It's okay. I wish I had a twin blaster, though. No, the wing damage was certainly not helping. That was a very bumbling, boost through the gate, but nonetheless. Yes, yes, yes. This time, maybe I'll see the thing as it's coming at me. Round 2. Fight. You gotta take out the legs. Now, I remember thinking that, oh, if I stay up longer, it seems like when he gets close, he doesn't, like, immediately hit the ground, and that seems to be true here. So, okay, that worked out well. I think maybe the first time I just didn't stay low long enough to bait him. But then I think maybe the next one I just have to stay up for a while? Question mark? Oh, you're good, Starlight Midoriland. Glad you were able to make it. As you can see, we're not, and I think this is maybe where I go down. Oh no, yeah, now he's shooting them fireballs. So I think we got, keep getting those legs out. More? Don't you know how bad the economy is right now? I can't afford more wings for the ship. Are you crazy? Oh, for God's sake. One wing? No wings? It's been a long time since I've had no wings. No wings! And I got a retro achievement for it, so that's gotta mean something. How can this ship fly with no wings? I ask. I'm not some kind of aeronautical engineer, but I don't think. And that doesn't auto-repair, does it? I think that's... or does it? I don't remember. We'll find out. PCX2 Namco 246 port. And now we are going to a Venom. Venom is, of course, in 2 parts. The first one is the space area around Venom. I believe if you take the harder route, it's 1 extra stage. Maybe that's 64. One of them has 1 extra stage if you take the hard route, which we will not be doing, because I don't even really know the hard route. And I have no confidence that my performance would be any kind of good. Yeah, the enemies in this are real easy to get off of your teammates' tails, unlike in 64, where I'm like, Peppy, like, I got to you as soon as I could, and your health is already half gone! What the hell happened, man? Maybe it's just me being bad at that game. But that's kind of how I feel about, whoa, I'm not paying attention. Okay, maybe I need to be rolling more. Just barrel roll. Just barrel roll like crazy. There we go. And then you get a lot of stuff to shoot down here because you got these meteors that are kind of coming up off the planet's surface here. Boy, I'm taking a lot of damage. Not great. I also feel like I just don't barrel roll enough a lot of the time, too. Well, I'm glad at least I was able to help you, Slippy. There we go. And you're all down here. That's where the party is. Why are there like 50 of these ships? All over the damn place. I know it's you, Slippy. See what you've done. See what you made me do. Goodness sake. It is, it's kind of brutal. It's not the easiest level that there ever was, that's for sure. And this one, as long as you keep kind of barrel rolling through all, well, even apparently with barrel rolling, you... And then when he goes here, you have to figure out which one of these is vulnerable. Oh, God. Okay, okay. Okay! That did not go well. Yeah, I read the Namco emulation new, or not read, but I heard it on Video Game Esoterica. Are probably all of our sources for this sort of thing. I got to assume by this point. Good lord! How about everything crashes into me? How about that? That sounds like a fantastic idea. Is he still on you, Peppy, or did I get him? Yes, I know, Peppy. I'm trying to help you, okay? I don't remember eating so much shit on this level. Wow. Alright. I actually haven't played the new Star Fox demo yet. I figure, I'm getting it next week. I'll just... Maybe I need to take out these guys a little bit more quickly here. Maybe they're causing me a little bit of grief. That could be what it is. Yeah, help you. We'll help you, Slip. Alright, feeling a little bit better now. Feeling a little bit better about this now. Feel like movement is better. There's more barrel rolling, which equals less laser blasts. Get away from that. Alright, here comes his rolling nonsense. Is it down here again? Which one is it? Which one are you? Okay. Why are you way the hell up there? Okay, this is... Why does it seem like none of you are taking damage? I'm sure one of them is, and I'm just not... Oh, it's that one, okay. Okay, thank God. Whew. Alright. No, I could have used a bomb there. I'm definitely gonna bomb him the next time he appears. I bomb the crap out of him the next time he appears. Normally, I don't do that quite that badly on him. Hey, 100%. But also, I don't have an extra life at this point, either. Oh, was he? What did he say? Which Palmer Lucky thing? I must have missed that. Oh God. Okay, I forgot about that part. Yeah, and then he... Leave Slippy alone! Oh God. Should be taking out more of these things so I can... Well, score here really doesn't matter, does it? Because it's not like there's a next, that so we can get this extra bomb. That. And then, yeah, you always want to be on the flat side of those, where the arrows are flat, because that's the way that's safe. Help you? Okay. Twist my arm. The gun towers are always the hardest. Oh, sorry, Slippy. The gun towers, I'm always like, oh yeah, that's right, you guys are here. And they just come out of thin air, which is the part about them that drives me a little bit crazy, to be honest. And then we get this lovely pillar maze, which is if you can just kind of turn on your side and sort of react here, you're gonna be doing pretty well. There we go. And then we go down, and then we go here. And then I believe if we kinda, yeah. Ah! That is not what I was trying to do there. I completely failed at getting that twin blaster, but hopefully it won't be such a big deal. And here's our boss. Yeah, I think it has to do with the checkpoints that you went through or didn't go through, if I'm not mistaken. And so at first you're gonna be like, oh, okay, this guy's easy. But then he has a second form, and I have plenty of bombs to waste on him, because this is my most hated boss, to be honest with you. So I'm gonna bomb the crap out of this guy. I'm just gonna kind of spam him here until he turns around, which he just did. He's gotta be facing forward, I believe. He can't just take bomb damage, and he's good. Big jump! Jump-oo! That one I don't think even worked on him, but we get a bomb actually before Andros. I think I wasted a couple there, unfortunately. I'm just kind of trying to strafe him, and... Oh, God. Okay, we gotta... Oh, Lord. Oh, come on. I'm so close. There we go. Yeah, I forget which ones are the checkpoint rings in this one, but it's restarts you from your last checkpoint. And I don't have much health, so and I think I get some power-ups here, but I can't remember if I have too much of a chance to mess this up before I get to the power-ups, which I'm sort of secretly afraid I'm going to do. Alright, at least I got some health there. And then at some point, this cuts over, and we go, yep, okay, good, good. Okay. 1 crashes, 2 crashes, not the end of the world. I've always been really bad at remembering where those walls begin and end. And all I need is 1 bomb for Andros here, if this goes well. I love his Oh no. Oh, this is not good. Not much health. And that doesn't actually do anything there. Like his weird suck-in thing. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. I think that's a game over. But I'm gonna continue. I think this will start me... I don't know if this will start me from the first Venom stage or what.
Let's go.
So it was not a 1cc, even though I've definitely done that before, but today's not my day, apparently. So this should be beginning of Venom. Okay, so maybe I'll get to do that first boss, like, a little... Yeah, some of the voice samples on this are weirdly clear, and some of them are like, what? What happened? Oh no, okay, this is starting me from, not the first, Venom, which is good. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. And this time we get down here, and now we can go up and take this guy out. And then gun... Yep, this. Gun turrets, which I think start pretty soon here. The gun turrets that just rise out of the ground. There we go. Yeah, it is shockingly kind, isn't it? I will say that much. Oh no, oh no. Okay. I did not hit that in time. Yeah, that's actually what I thought too, but I was very glad to be wrong. Hold on, Falco. I'm trying to get some health back, man. I just smacked into a giant. I guess really I should have slowed down there to take out the gun turrets better. Again, like, I feel like I don't slow down enough. I feel like that's probably a problem a lot of people have in this game. Just slow down. Oh, Lord. Okay. Well, that's not great. It's so easy for your health to get away from you in this game. Like, a series of mistakes can just compound, and before you know it, here you are with, like, no health. Right there. No. Okay. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That's what we like to see. All right. This, I have not played the Star Fox EX hack. The things I did not even know existed. Is it worth checking out? Are you the left? The left one I feel like is more rare to be the one that's vulnerable. I feel like it tends to be the right one or the middle one for me more. That's probably just anecdotal. And once you start taking damage, I'm gonna start bombing you. One more bomb. And usually about 2 are all you can get out in the first set there, and you gotta just do more, Big Jumpy? We're gonna do Big Jumpy? Oh yeah, we're gonna do Big Jumpy. I think I can hit you with another one as soon as you turn around. Not sure if that actually worked or not. I think I missed him. Barely missed him. There we go. Good. Almost. Oh god. Almost. Almost. So close. There we go. That was much better. Yeah, when I played this when I was younger, I don't think I knew the brake and the speed up were there, but I don't think I really used them. And so I think I made life a little bit harder for myself than I needed to. By just not taking advantage of all the mechanics that were there, basically. There's our one bomb, and then... Hey, no collisions there. Oh god! I say it and I forgot the last one. Oops. It's a little bit difficult, at least for me, to tell like which side I should ideally be on with his, you know, all the junk flying out of his mouth here. And he doesn't have any vulnerable eye in this part. Alright, and so with the cube, it bounces off the wall here, bomb it right about there, and then we're home free. Not bad, save for the continue. Not bad, not bad. Thank you, thank you. I know it was only easy route, but... which is, for a Star Fox professional, is probably not much of an accomplishment, but... yeah, I love this game. This is, I mean, I know it's, you know, low poly, whatever, the Super FX chip. It was just kind of a band-aid to keep the Super Nintendo quote-unquote relevant, but, like, it's crazy when you step back and think about it, right? What Argonaut helped them achieve here with this. And, like, I don't know, I thought back in the day there was such a charm to, like, their... like, I didn't say this at the beginning, but I love, like, how Top Gun it is, like, down to the music and everything when they're all coming out in Corneria in that formation. Like, it's so cool. That first stage song, oh, it's so good. And then I was really charmed by the, you know, you know, like, just their nonsense speak. Like, I prefer that to them having, like, fully voiced dialogue in the game, the next game we're gonna look at here in a bit, for example. And, you know, all the Star Fox. I guess, for those of you who have played, Deep... oh, that's a good voice sample, too.
Pepper speaking. Congratulations on a job well done.
Congratulations on a job well done.
I'm heading back to Corneria.
Heading back to Corneria. For anyone who's played, like, past 64, so into, like, the goofier, you know, your assaults and your commands and your zeros and whatnot, anybody have any one of those that they think is particularly good or particularly bad? I don't think I played Assault. I believe Assault was the GameCube one. I don't think I ever touched that one. Command was okay. The DS one, I mean, they made weird, like, the fact that it had to use the stylus was dumb, and it really compromised that game. The new models of the characters are really Uncanny Valley. Yeah, I agree. I think they should be more cartoony as well. But, you know, I'm not gonna thumb my nose at a new Star Fox game. I'll give it a try. I'll give it a try. I also played Zero on the Wii U. And I didn't think Zero was amazing, but I didn't think it was as bad as some people gave it shit for. This is like the most pure Star Fox because it's like all air combat. And I think Star Fox 64 is good, but the Landmaster and the whatever the submarine is called, like, that was the beginning of them bolting shit onto Star Fox that shouldn't belong, in my opinion. It was fine in 64, like, it wasn't terrible. They kind of kept it feeling like in the spirit of the air combat, but like the parts in Zero where you were like getting out of the ship and like, no. It's not, they were not good. And yeah, for a Platinum game, I agree with you. It came out just strangely. Like, I wonder how much of that was Nintendo being like, you gotta do this, and you gotta do... We'll never know. But, and, Star Fox 2... oh, God. Everyone hates the submarine, right? Like, everyone hates it. It's... I feel like one of the most hated levels in the game. I don't mind the Landmaster too much. I'm not as good in it. Because that button combination, that like ZC or whatever button combination, you just don't ever use for anything else, and so I always forget, oh yeah, I can like hover in the Landmaster. So like I always kind of feel like I'm at a disadvantage in that thing because I can never remember some of the controls. A fast ROM hack of Star Fox, that would be an interesting one to check out, because it, as some of you saw, like it gets pretty darn framey in parts, like you're you're chugging along through some of those. And you know, at the time, it was whatever, like I didn't even think anything of it. It's like not all video games were, you know, I wasn't thinking about the frame rate of a video game, particularly in 1993. I'm sure I noticed it, I'm sure I processed it in some sort of level and be like, oh, that's weird, it's kind of slowing down here, but I wasn't too hung up over it. And I don't remember if 64 natively had any slowdown. I can tell you, and you'll see in a bit, 64 running overclocked on the Analogue 3D, I don't think it has any slowdown. I think it's quite fluid, but I don't remember how much of that was originally there, or how much of that is maybe due to the Analogue 3D being able to overclock it or whatever. I would like to learn the medium and the hard routes sometime. That would be a fun thing to learn. But I feel like the easy one, usually I can get the easy one in a single credit. Like I will sometimes die a couple times because I'm not barrel rolling enough, or I'm not braking enough, or whatever, but usually it's not a continue, but whatever. It is what it is. .4 megahertz, the full speed of the Super... Ah, that's the max that the Super FX could do. I don't think I realized that it had a 21.4... average score 95%. I'll take it. And I think it probably just leaves me here at the screen, potentially. I always thought this was weird. Like, I'm not asking for the game to loop or anything, but like, you're not even gonna like take me, like you're gonna make me hit the reset button? Like, seriously? I've always just thought that was a strange decision. Okay. Well, let's do this. So, we have something to look at here for the original Star Fox. I'll warn you all ahead of time. We don't have a Famitsu for 64. Oh, yep. Sorry. Hold on. There we go. Famitsu check. There we go. Thank you for reminding me. We don't have a Famitsu for Star Fox 64 because, for those who aren't aware, past, is it 90? Let me look at my list of files here. I think when we get past, what year is it? When we get past 96, the well that is Famitsu scans just sort of dries up. It's not like you can't find any at all, but they're much more scattershot. Like they're not just there on the internet. Well, they're not on the Internet Archive anymore. I think most of the old ones, but there is a site, or if you know where to go, there are torrents for complete year sets of Famitsu that you can download, and they only have up through 1996. And I get it. Like, this is probably because, you know, people have to buy these magazines. It's probably hubs from the Gaming Alexandria Discord, I think probably does most of these scans. Let me actually take a peek to see if maybe another year of Famitsu was added since the last time I checked. Let's see here. And I mean, they have scans of like every other magazine basically. Oh my goodness, they have up through no, sorry. That's 86. I got excited there. Nope, no updates since 1996, I'm afraid. I do have a score for Star Fox 64, but I did not have any way of getting the original Famitsu commentary, like the cross review section like this, unfortunately. So I will not be able to share that with you after we get done with 64. But yeah, kind of after the SNES era is over, like you just don't, there's not really good ways to get scans. It's unfortunate, but it's true. Anyhow, yeah, I had to look up Zach, S-X-A-K, Zach, which clearly, I mean, look at that. That's an Ease ripoff if you've ever seen one, right? Let's zoom that in a little bit. Like, look at that thing. That's an Ease ripoff if I have ever seen one. I did not know this game though. This was I was probably not, Micro Cabins, but this was, I guess, published by Sunsoft, as we can see here. Sunsoft was bringing that one over. Yeah, we've got F1 Grand Prix Part 2. I feel like what was that the Super NES Super Famicom game that launched that was a computer port? Was it like Draken or something like that? It was a weirdo game. I remember renting it and just being like, what is this game? Yes. It was extremely strange. Extremely strange. And I did not know what to make of it. I certainly did not know it was a computer port at the time. That's for sure. I later found that out. But before we get to Star Fox's scores, let's look at what else we've got here. Actually, let's look. What did some of these other games get? So, like, I have no experience with F1 Grand Prix Part 2. And let me zoom out a little bit so we can see all the scores at once a little bit better. I mean, as you can see here, Star Fox got a pretty darn good score, but we'll go back and look at the comments in a minute. In Zach, 7465. Not great. Apparently there's a PC Engine port of this too. I just kind of caught my eye that one of the reviewers here is talking about how there was a PC Engine version saying, oh, this is basically the same as the PC Engine version. Yep, Taco X, he's here. He's here. Let's see. And so we've got, was he he was definitely, well, actually, no, he wasn't the lowest scoring. Rolling Uchizawa was the lowest scoring on the Super Famicom port of Zax. We've got, let's see here. I think this is pronounced Noda Minoru is the top reviewer's name. This is Rolling Uchizawa. You've got Isabella Nagano, and of course you've got Taco X. Basement Brothers do that. I shouldn't be surprised. I should not be surprised. That seems right up their alley. And I mean that in an endearing way. Monopoly? Anybody ever heard of this game before? No, I'd make that joke because for those who don't know, the Master System, the North American Master System version of Monopoly, the top of the game says Monopoly on it. Mono space poly. It is not Monopoly, it is Monopoly. And my requisite Master System owning friend, we all had one, unless we were the Master System owning friend, had one, and I would always look at that and be like, Monopoly. What? But we've got the Super Nintendo. I have never played the Super Nintendo version of Monopoly, published by Tomy. And it got, it got some pretty good scores for what it is, for a board game that had been ported around probably by the time it got to the Super Famicom. I know we have some Monopoly lovers here, but it's pretty high score. Pretty high scores, I would say. What else do we have here? Oh, this is a mouthful in katakana. Jesus, what is this? Ihatovo monogatari. I'm not really sure what that's supposed to be. Ihatovo. The vo combination is a fairly unique combination of characters in katakana here. It's not natively supported. That's my software engineering brain coming up with that phrase. But yeah, you kind of have to modify. You have to hit the boo on the katakana u and hit an o after to make it vo. Ihatovo. Okay, yeah, I guess I would struggle with that even in English, to be fair. Yeah, exhaust heat F1 driver no kiseki. The miracle, F1 driver e no kiseki. The miracle, the localization of it is F1 Rock Race of Champions, which is a nice little subtitle, but this would more be like the miracle on the way to becoming an F1 driver or something. Devil Course, which I prefer the name Devil Course to Wicked 18, though Wicked 18 makes a little bit more sense, right, as to what it actually is. Like Devil Course sounds like it could be really any number of things. This was, of course, a TNE soft game, famous for their golf titles across multiple platforms. Yep, and you've got Albert Odyssey there, a game I've never played, though I've heard quite a bit about over the years. Let's take a look at some of these other scores. Wow, what a disparity in Ihatovo Monogatari here. A 9, which is an amazing score for any game, and as low as a 5 with kind of, everything, almost everything in between here. A 7 and a 6. For F1 Doraiba no Kiseki, we've got 7, 5, 6, 7. Pretty middle of the road. Devil Course, the lowest we have is a 5. We got 6, 5, 7, 6. Feel like that's probably a pretty standard score for a decent golf game. Albert Odyssey, again, like we get an 8, and then 5, 7, 7. So kind of a little bit all over the place here. But we still got some Famicom games that come up as late as this, believe it or not. We've got the Famicom port of Bubble Bobble 2. We've got Mezase Top Pro Green ni Kakeru Yume. Which is like aim for being a top pro. The dream that goes across the green. What a romantic title for a golf video game on the Famicom. And what do we have here? We've also got Zeroyon Shampoo 2. So maybe like Zeroyon might be like 04, like 04 Champ 2. Yep, that's Starlight Midori Land confirmed here. 04 Champ 2 on the PC Engine CD-ROM. The other ones are what we got. We got both two Famicom games here. And I'm imagining that Famicom, like we experienced in the Western press, like I'm imagining now that we're a couple years into the Super NES now, few. And I assume the Famicom, the scores for the regular Famicom games that are coming out are going to kind of suffer as a result, because people are probably, whether they're writing this or not, are probably like, this is 8-bit. This is 8-bit junk. Get it out of here. It's not right to feel that way, but it probably happened. Let's see. Oh, and this is actually one of those games where a Famicom Disk System version came out 6 years prior. And so this is them finally doing a cartridge version of it after, the disk system is like long in the rearview mirror, which, you know, they did with games like they did that with the original Legend of Zelda. They did that with Castlevania, things like that. It wasn't, you know, they released the actual Super Mario Brothers 2, Super Mario USA, you know, long after they did Yume Kojo, Doki Doki Panic, and things like that. What else? Are there N64 defenders in Japanese game fandom? There must be, right? I got to assume. I've definitely talked to Japanese people who had like memories of it. So in Japanese, they call it rokuyon, which is just, you know, literally the numbers for 6 and 4. But whenever you hear a Japanese person say rokuyon, they're talking about the N64. They don't even normally call it like en rokuyon. It's normally just rokuyon. So, you know, there are plenty of English-speaking people who just call it the 64, though, and not the N64. So I guess that's not mutually exclusive to Japanese speakers. But yeah, I haven't met any like ride or die like Japanese people for the N64. Just people who kind of remembered and had some memories of it. So but there must be, right? There's probably people in Japan who are like, you know what the height of gaming was? The Bandai Pladia, the Apple Pippin, the Panasonic 3DO. I'm sure there are these people just like there are everywhere, right? Hard to imagine, but I'm sure they're around. Anyway, so yeah, Bubble Bobble 2, you know, kind of what you might expect, especially when it is a 6-year-old, you know, game on the disk system. You had a 6464. This old Famicom golf game, Green ni Kakeru Yume, Mesase Top Pro, got a 5, 4, 5, and 5. Again, like, didn't you just have, like, you had Devil's Course up there, right? So, like, they're probably looking at these Super Famicom golf games and being like, this is, why do I want to go back and do this? But, you know, I don't know. You still have PC Engine stuff, which I guess... Don't call them weird games, but you're not wrong. What is a weird game in here? I wonder. I don't know. What's the weirdest one we've got? Is it certainly it can't be Monopoly. Is it I don't know. It's Jeshka? Which one of these games is Jeshka like? I bet she's a Bubble Bobble 2 fan. That's what I'm gonna say. Jessica's favorite game of the bunch is Bubble Bobble. She was actually kidnapped by the Mad Gear as while she was playing Bubble Bobble 2. They cut that part from the story because it was Capcom. They don't want to promote a Taito game. That's insanity. Why would they do that? But I guess PC Engine CD-ROM wasn't too in the rearview mirror. Like if it was a PC Engine Who card, then maybe. But this was a CD-ROM game, so I guess scoring those like 8776 is probably not really too surprising, right? Let's see here. All right. Well, that's like the kind of basic lay of the land here. Let's go back and you know what? We finished Star Fox a little early, you know, it's a quick game. So after we look at Star Fox, maybe we'll take a peek at some of the other stuff that's in this magazine too, since it's the only one we'll be getting to look at tonight, you know, before we go on to 64. Yeah, let's read the 10. So this one got a 10, 9, and 8, and a 7. So a 10 is pretty good. Like, we don't generally see many even single 10s, I would say. We certainly have not seen many, or at least any that I can think of in the games we were specifically looking at up until this point. I don't recall having seen many 10s. This one from Noda Minoru here, our lead reviewer. So he says, I kept hearing about how amazing this game is. Sugoi sugoi to wa kiite ita kedo. So it's like I kept hearing about how amazing this game is. But I never imagined that a polygonal game from Nintendo would have this level of polish. And I mean, again, we look at it now, right? And we're like, what in the, you know, but it was pretty amazing at the time. Like I was floored by it, and like I bought into it hook, line, and sinker. And I got it home, and I was like, I am living in the future. Like, this is insanity that this is playing on the same system that I was just playing a rousing round of Hal's Hole-in-One Golf on. I probably was not actually playing Hal's Hole-in-One Golf just before I played Star Fox, but I did own a copy of Hal's Hole-in-One Golf that I got secondhand from a Blockbuster Video, and I did play it. So, you know, it's not impossible. So, yep, amazed at its level of polish. Funi. Hold on, he's throwing an onomatopoeia at me that I don't. Hal's Hole-in-One Golf has amazing music. I think that's when my love of like that kind of like jazz fusion-esque type soundtrack really started cementing itself in me. I wasn't really able to process it at the time, but I think that's kind of where it started coming up from, because it had that classic golf game soundtrack, right? You know what I mean, right? If you played like a 16-bit or a 32-bit golf game, they all kind of had this vibe when it came to the music. Anyway, so you're saying like the how to put it? Like the characters aren't particularly realistic. Like he specifically uses an onomatopoeia funi, which I'd never heard before, that means like soft or dreamlike. So like the kind of like the outlandish or dreamlike characters are enough to make me cry. So he was very charmed by the puppets on the that appeared on the Japanese box, all doing the thing where they're looking up, to the side or whatever, versus I think just Fox was on the cover of the North American box, if I remember correctly, whereas the whole crew, or no, I'm sorry, it wasn't the puppets. It was a drawing of them on the Japanese box art, right? Now I gotta look, hold on. And it was the puppet of just Fox. No. I'm thinking of Star Fox 2. It was the puppets, but it was all of the puppets that were, they kind of had their heads tilted off to the side like this on the front of the Japanese box. Anyway, so he loves the goofy characters. Let's see here. Hold on, I'm just parsing this out here. Okay. Okay, so the game's the game's level of fun, and the realism of its graphics, which of course I don't really know if he's saying they're realistic or not, don't have anything to do with each other. Like he's saying like he had this made him realize all over again that like the realism of graphics has nothing to do with how fun a game is. So I think he's saying that the graphics are not particularly realistic looking because they're, these chunky polygons or whatever, but it's like, that doesn't matter. That doesn't have an impact on how fun a game is, which 100%. 100%. All right. So yeah, I mean, he made a good case. He made a good case. He was just very charmed by it. Yeah, the story of the Star Fox puppets, that is a shame. Those puppets were amazing, and yeah, they just got destroyed. There was maybe one of you can help me. There's like a Nintendo, I saw him, or I think he gave a talk one year at a Midwest Gaming Classic or something, but there was a guy who's like tracking down all like those artifacts that were like featured on covers of Nintendo Power and in Nintendo Power contests or something, and just kind of cataloging them and figure out what happened to them. I think I heard him talk about the Star Fox puppets at some point or another. But our lowest scoring reviewer, of course, was Taco X, because Taco X is the curmudgeon of the group. Depending on how you feel, he's either the curmudgeon or he's the realist, right? Because often when people like hyperinflate a game, he'll kind of be the one to be like, is it really that good? You know, but let's see. So it's like at first I thought that this game, that this was just kind of a chunky game that has chunky polygons that moves chunkily, because, you know, that could be your first impression, certainly just looking at it. But what would otonashi, would be a good translation of otonashi in this case? Oh, okay. So hold on. Maybe I'm body. Yeah, okay, maybe he's not, because this is kind of a weird onomatopoeia that could have meant a couple of different things. So I think maybe he was saying that he thought it was going to be a little bit more hardcore, but it was like surprisingly straightforward. He's not necessarily saying easy, I wouldn't say. But, you know, tame might be a better way of putting it. It was surprisingly tame. It's well put together, and it's a very interesting game. But okay, so I was wondering if someone was gonna mention this. He's like, but obviously it can't compare to the likes of Starblade, which was the big 3D kind of Namco sit-down cockpit arcade game. Maybe some of you have played Starblade. Starblade's a hell of a lot harder than Star Fox, I can tell you that much. But it can't be compared to the likes of Starblade and Virtua Racing, and then he says atarimae, like, of course, like it's stating the obvious. I don't know. I think Star Fox is a very different type of game than Virtua Racing. They only really compare in that they use polygons. And yeah, Starblade, I think, is where you go for much more hardcore, like Star Fox. For as difficult as it can be, I think it's more digestible of a rail shooter than Starblade is. I'd never get very far in Starblade when I just kind of play it casually. And then he's saying it has the feeling of being, how to put it, sanitized. And I guess, sure, I don't know. Like, it's a Nintendo game, man. What do you want? Like, what do you think you're going to get here? Yeah, I think people just really want the puppets to be still alive, right? Because they're awesome puppets. They're some of the most amazing puppets, I would say, that probably most of us have ever seen, right? We can all agree on that. All right, let's take a peek at a couple of these other comments, since these are so more or less universally praising. Let's just have a look at Rolling Uchizawa here. Let's see here. He says that this feels like it has a more real atmosphere than any of the 3D polygon shooting games up until this point. And I think I agree with that, because Starblade just feels so abstract to me, even compared to Star Fox. But your mileage may vary on that. It's like in the content is very high quality because it's a Nintendo game. And yeah, it ends up making for a game that you just can't put down. To think that, like, it's really amazing to think that home console games have come this far. So yeah, I think that's a point, you know, that we all felt, right? It's like, look at how far things have come. That's it's true. All right, I wanna, since we got a little bit of extra time, and I don't think it'll take me also all that long to get through 64 either. We've kind of in the Famitsus that we've looked at up until this point, we've kind of skipped right to the cross reviews, because Famitsu is a much beefier magazine than a Game Machine is. So, you know, we'd be in danger of kind of like spending a lot more time on it, but we've got a little extra time to spare here today. So let's actually Scroll all the way back up. We won't camp out on every little thing because I'd be here all day. But you get a, what is that, like necky, two neckies with mustaches, and I'm not sure, is this supposed to be a PC Engine CD-ROM attachment, I assume it looks like, that has like a big old button on it and a play thing on the front. Maybe that's, I've only ever had a Duo R, so I don't actually know what these things look like when they're just well, I've seen them, but I don't remember. Let's just put it that way. Oh ho ho! What have we here? And this is, it's a 2-page spread, but it's the Ninja Warriors. Oh, it doesn't say again. Oh, it's the Mega CD version. That's why. Okay. I thought this was the Ninja Warriors again. But still, what have we here? The Ninja Warriors. I love the Ninja Warriors. That Mega CD version is okay. It's not great, but it's okay. It's better than nothing. It's better than the PC Engine version. But nothing quite beats the arcade game. Dyuno Senshi Breath of Fire. So this is Breath of Fire 1. That's Dragon Warrior. Not that Dragon Warrior. A Dragon Warrior. But Dyuno Senshi is, you could definitely translate that into a Dragon Warrior, or a Dragon Soldier, perhaps, is less copyright infringing, maybe. But we got an ad for Breath of Fire 1 here. Yeah, that's right. It was, wasn't it? That was weird. That was strange, wasn't it? Was it a Taito? No, Capcom. Duh. I'm thinking of Lufia. Of course, this was Capcom. Yeah, that's strange. And speaking of Square, party action RPG, Seiken Densetsu 2. This is, of course, Secret of Mana, the party action RPG, because you can play, what is it, a 3-player game? 3-player game with the old multi-tap. I played it 2-player. I've never played it with the full 3-player. But my understanding is when you get the caster, it just, because those spells freeze time, it just becomes like, oh, okay, okay, time to stop. Oh, okay, time to stop. So it like frustrated some people to play with the spells as well, because it would just completely stop the action for those of us who were melee. And we got a table of contents here, which we'll just kind of skip over so we get to the meat of things. Famitsu Express, this is just kind of like their news section. And they were not a magazine that specifically covered arcade games. They left that to the likes of Gamist, pronounced the T there. But they would have, like, you know, here's the hot new arcade things that you just can't miss and that you just have to know about. But they would not review arcade games per se. They left that to Game Machine. They left that to Gamist. But they felt like they had to cover it. And so there is, of course, a big old deluxe. Zoom in on this a little bit. Big old deluxe Virtua, or is this Virtua? No, sorry, is this Virtua Racing? It is, right? Are they just calling this, or is this a different game called Virtua Formula? Boy, Sega, hold on. Is this a different thing? It is a different thing. It's an expanded version of Virtua Racing, which I am embarrassed to admit. I did not even know this was a thing. I just thought it was Virtua Racing and that was it. But apparently this is not true. And so this is like one of their super deluxe. Maybe this was in what are the really big Sega arcades that are still around? Not Gigo, or maybe they're not around anymore since Sega got out of the arcade business, but were around. Sega, I'm blanking. But they had the big ones that they had the big, multi-screen setups like this in. So could be it was in one of those. But this was from the AOU show from 1993, which was like their annual arcade show held in Japan. So this was not, from an arcade in particular. They just had the setup on the show floor. And look, you have like a driver up there you can see right around here ish. And then you got a side view from the cars, very, very colorful. And some other, I'll zoom out a little bit here. Some other, the Neo Geo deck, which looks like it's just running on PVMs or small monitors. Oh, this is for like hotels and what have you. Like I'm sure you all, even us Westerners here, we had some things like this in hotels, right? Like the pay-to-play Super NES or the pay-to-play N64 that they had in hotels, right? Where they'd charge you to your room to play one of those games. I think I have memory of my brother and I playing Super Punch-Out on the Super Nintendo on one of those during one family vacation, because why not, I guess. And we've got we've got Namco's Galaxian 3 down here. Let's see if I can get a little bit closer in on this. It's not going to be an amazing looking quality photo or anything like that, because it's going to be grainier the more I move in. But there's good old Galaxian 3, the installation that is Galaxian 3. I probably won't get around to it this year, but there is is it Vermont? I want to say Vermont, or maybe I'm wrong about that, but it's somewhere in that neck of the woods. Or New Hampshire. I think it might be New Hampshire. There is an arcade in America which has, at one point, a working Galaxian 3, which I would love to film and just experience. So hopefully going to do some video stuff on that one of these days. It's the reason why Final Fantasy V wasn't localized? Is it actually the sole reason for it? Or is it just like one of many contributing factors, perhaps? That'd be crazy if it was just down to that. It looks like we have Taito's Super Chase up here, this row of bikes. We have Dogfight, which looks like remarkably similar thing to an R360, I would say. Very similar. Let's see. And you've got like, what was this? Like these other sort of Sega like amusement attractions that they were spinning up. This was a little after the R360's heyday. This is 1993. The R360, of course, in Japan came late 1991 and still had some activity in early 1992. So this was people still trying to kind of ride that wave, I guess. The wave of that attraction style arcade experience. Let's zoom in out a little bit for like easier scrolling. Taito had some stuff as well. Let's see. Not mostly screenshots of like their stage show presentations, I would say. Power Game Pack. Let's see. Vatixa. This was one of their kind of like sit down installation type deals that you can see here. Wondership. What else? Oh, we got the Duo R. The Duo R only got its release date announced for yeah, it would have been this month, so it would have been March 25th, 1993 is when that bad boy came out. This is the one I have. I use an Analogue Duo these days, but I have one of these stowed away, and the caps haven't blown on me yet, so far as I know. But it's a nice piece of hardware, and you've got some stuff from Nintendo. You got good old SimCity. I don't know if this was anybody else's first SimCity experience, but it certainly was mine. I have quite a bit of nostalgia for that version of SimCity. Oh, it looks like Wink, the popular idol group Wink, also may have shown up for something to do with Sword World SFC. So I guess they were willing to kind of put their name on anything, weren't they? Boy, oh boy. I didn't think Wink had much to do with video games, but they were popular for a while there. Oh, yes. Ah, yes. Who remembers this film? This was what? This appeared in did this end up being City Hunter? Is this City Hunter? Or was this a different thing that also ended up having Jackie Chan and a Street Fighter parody in it? This might be yeah, that's what I thought. I definitely saw City Hunter back in the day, and I was like, okay, we're doing Street Fighter parodies now. All right. Yes, the very person you really want to see is Chun-Li, Jackie Chan. It was a fun movie though. I'm a sucker for City Hunter. I'll admit it. It's problematic in some ways, but I don't know. I think it's fairly harmless in the end. JoJo. There it is, the Super Famicom JoJo game that came out during the time of covering Stardust Crusaders anyway. JoJo's first video game, I believe. We'll eventually play some JoJo. Goodbye, JoJo. There it is. I was hoping somebody would hit that. Or one of the many things I put in here from JoJo. Thank you, Red Spectre. I knew I could count on you. And we actually haven't looked at any of these either. So like the weekly Famitsu top 30. So this is just based on sales. You can see number of copies sold here. I believe that's what that is anyway. It's not explicitly saying that, but what else would it be? And so this was just kind of like a snapshot in time of like the top 30 best-selling games in this particular week. So I think this is worth taking a little bit of a look at, right? Super Tetris 2 plus Bomb Bliss. Did anybody play that one? I'm sure I did. I can't for the life of me remember what Bomb Bliss is, but you know, it was a Tetris game, so of course people loved it to some degree. And I don't think the next top games will surprise too many people. It's fine. Tetris, yes, that is where I played it. I played it on Tetris Forever. That's right. Thank you for the reminder there. I think, yeah, I might know somebody who has this cartridge as well, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, Tetris, there's a lot of Tetris games, and a lot of them are just kind of whatever. I agree with that. But given that this magazine was dated March 1993, we've got some pretty games with a pretty long tail here, right? Like this came out just the end of the previous year. Fine, good old Final Fantasy V came out the previous year, and plus it's Final Fantasy, so it's gonna probably hang out in here for a while, right? But you've got Mario Kart, which went on sale not a full year ago, but the previous summer of the previous year. So you got Mario Kart still doing numbers. And I mean, speaking of things that are still doing numbers, because I think this is before Turbo came out. I think Turbo would come out later in 93, if I'm not mistaken. But you've got, good old SNES port of Street Fighter 2 still doing numbers too, surprising no one. Super Mario Land 2. Sonic, there it is. Sonic Boom, you can feel it. I mean, this is Geef pile driving Blanca, but you can imagine, you can just see it. You can see it. You got Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins that came out, kind of in the later half of 92, but I don't know. So where does everyone come down on this? So Mario Land 1. Babaroon. Dokoda Babaroon. I added Babaroon. I added some new sounds, as you can see. I added some new ones to channel points, and I added some more ones to the whatever the ones for bits are. But yeah, shuffling things around. I like both of them as well, but I think I love how weird Mario Land 1 is compared to Mario Land 2. Like Mario Land 2 is a little more straightforward, a little more what you would expect out of a Mario game, and I love just how strange Mario Land 1 was. Like it had shmup levels? Like, come on. Oh, is she here? Jakio Iruka. It's our nickname for Enerjax. Stream regular Enerjax, who is sometimes here and sometimes not. I put that in A because it's a huge part of Game Center CX memes, and also it's also one of her nicknames. So people can play that when she shows up also, and she'll get it. Yeah, Mario Land 1 is real cool. I love it. And then we pack them more on the page when we get past the top 5. So we've got Dragon Quest V, which again has a little bit of a long tail on it, sorta. We've got what, Hanjuku Hero? Is this Hanjuku Hero? One of the I guess this would be a super fun. I haven't really played the Hanjuku Hero games. Does anyone else have any experience with those? But I mean, it made number 7. We've got a Gegege no Kitaro game, the Super Famicom Gegege no Kitaro game, which I've never played. Though Gegege no Kitaro is an anime series, which means at some point we might be doing that for Thursdays, because I like that series. I would play those games. I also love Game Center CX in general. Game Center CX just has so many episodes that it's hard to mine those for sound bits because there's just so much to go through. And so as I'm watching episodes, or when things come to me, like I get them, but there will be more Game Center CX sound bites to come. There are not a ton right now because it's just, I am with both of you. It's comfort food and sicko. I'm with you on both of them. I'm a little bit behind on the current episodes. Like normally, if you're willing to watch them in raw Japanese, you can catch them on what's the thing I'm thinking of? Daily Motion. You know, those streaming sites that bombard you with ads because they're free. You can usually watch them on there, but I'm a handful of episodes behind. But I usually get the DVD box sets and things like that. The ones that come out once a year, because I want to support that show as much as I can. Also, another fun fact regarding Tetris Forever. This was the 3rd game in the Digital Eclipse Gold Mat. Yup. I actually did not play the other 2 ones. The first one that I bought was, in fact, that Tetris Forever one. And I also did not get the Mortal Kombat one, because I'm not much of a Mortal Kombat guy, really. So I'm looking to see what else they do. Looking forward to seeing what else they do in the future. Yeah, and the rental DVDs are like, that's like those are like whole different ones, right? They're like whole different sets, aren't they? I think. I don't have any of the rental ones. I just have the consumer DVD box sets, and I have like the specials, the anniversary specials and Game Center CX, the movie and things like that. I love it when they played that one quiz game and then staff started telling each other to shut. Yeah. The quiz game episodes are always exceptionally good on that show because like everyone specializes in something different. And it's very fun to see like how they end up coming together to like cooperate and be like, okay, Abe, the cameraman, always takes cars, right? Like anything cars and bikes, like he knows. Arino knows like anime and manga and stuff like that. Other people, can cover history and whatever. So it's very funny how that ends up working out. I should probably look into getting some of the rental ones at some point because those probably have some episodes that they haven't put on the commercial DVD box sets, I'm sure. You can get them not like next to nothing, but like reasonably okay prices on like Mercari and things like that, especially the older ones. Like the older they get, the more reasonable they get in terms of their prices. And a lot of the times, at least in my experience, when you buy them there, the people who sell them have kept sealed in the envelopes the little bonuses that come with them. So like, I don't have any within reach to show you, but you'll often get like a different like business card for Arino, and it'll be like a little trinket of some kind, like a notepad or a magnet or a thing you can hang on your door that's like the equivalent of saying like, do not enter gaming or something, and then there's like a picture of Arino on it, like, goofy stuff like that. And like they almost always come with the box sets in nearly every case, because most of the ones I've only bought the last handful new. Most of the ones I went back and bought either in person on a Japan trip or from Mercari or something like that. The rental DVDs are quite cheap on. Okay, I'll have to look into some of the rental boxes. I wonder how many there are. If there are nearly as many as there are the consumer DVD box sets. I've seen so many Game Center CX episodes that I've almost forgotten at this point things about them. It's like I definitely remember him playing Gimmick, but he thought the bird boss was cute. Sometimes I was very happy. I believe it was on the most recent DVD box sets. Oh God. All right, I've got some work cut out for me. Boy, oh boy. But on the most recent DVD box, there's always a bonus also, a DVD box exclusive episode that was not aired. And so you can't find, unless someone ripped the DVDs or whatever. But I believe it was on the most recent one. He did Monster Hunter 1. He finally did it. And it was very, very amusing watching him play Monster Hunter. I mean, 1 is a jank-ass game. And like, I can't recommend anyone go back and play Monster Hunter 1. Not at this point. But it was very fun watching him have that experience. Love the part in Kid Dracula episode or the game glitched and everything. Yeah, I feel like that's happened on a couple different episodes too. It's, that old hardware, it's sensitive and things can happen. What else do we got here? We got Yoshi's Cookie, the Game Boy version of Yoshi's Cookie. We got the Famicom version over here at number 15. I'm kind of Yoshi's Cookie neutral, I guess I'd say. Like, it's fine. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's Yoshi's Cookie. I guess I can see why people would pick the Game Boy version of this, because it's maybe just kind of one of those games you want the portable versions of. You've got Tiny Toon Adventures on the Super Famicom, also here at number 10. SNES, yeah, Yoshi's Cookie had an SNES one too, didn't it? Is that on here? That's Famicom. Maybe the SNES one came later? Because it's interesting that that's not even appearing on here, because you've got Game Boy, you've got Famicom right here, and I'm surprised that, okay, yeah, that would make sense, because otherwise I feel like it would be over, right? And look at this. Super Mario World, still doing it. From 1990, and for those who don't know, Super Mario World was not a pack-in game in Japan with the Super Famicom. Japan does not have a history of pack-in games like the West does. It was just not a thing. Sometimes retailers would do bundles, but often they would make you buy a bundle for games that you did not want, just to be able to get the hardware. I think, was it the Mario World video? I can't remember. It might have been the Gaming Historian Mario World video. Don't quote me on that, but I remember translating some Famitsu coverage or some kind of Japanese game magazine coverage for him in one of those videos that talked about Super Famicoms being real hard to get, and the ones that you can get were like bundled with games that you'd never want because retailers were just trying to get rid of them to free up shelf space. I think that might be in his History of Mario World video, but that was kind of an interesting thing to read about that I didn't know before I translated that stuff. Mario World is a fucking baller game. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I know people feel differently about this, but it is my favorite Mario game still, over Super Mario Brothers 3. I know that there's that eternal battle, right? It's like, is it Super Mario Brothers 3 or is it Mario World? But for me, it's Mario World. Like, I think Super Mario Brothers 3 is great. Don't get me wrong, but it ain't no Mario World. What else? We got Mario World still kind of holding up. Still holding up in number 11 since 1990. I don't know. I know if you can even pick. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that's fair. You don't have to pick. They're both great. They're both great. Hoshino Kabi, Kirby's Dream Land, the original Game Boy one. Again, still hanging on from about a year ago at this point. Shin Megami Tensei, that original one on the Super Famicom. We got, what? My brain was not parsing that for some reason. Pro Football 93 from EA Victor. So this is probably a Western game. What was Pro Football 93? If we look at, was it actually just called that? Or was this like Madden 93 or NFL Sports Talk Football or something like that? I wonder if it was one of those, what it would actually have been called in the West here. And you've got Pro Football. Okay, Pro Football is John Madden. Yeah, because the John Madden license doesn't really make any sense in Japan, right? Nobody knows who the hell John Madden is. People don't care about American football in Japan, at least not really. But, I mean, apparently they do, because, like, this is number 14. Like, that's, and I mean, it's granted, it probably won't stick up there for very long. It's probably just riding the, the new and hot wave. But wow, like, it got above Puyo Puyo on the Mega Drive, for God's sake. Which is down here. Above this, we have, what would this be? Dai Bakusho Jinsei Gekijo, a Taito title on the Super Famicom. I'm not too familiar with exactly what this would be just by the title alone. You've got Rockman 5, Bruise no Wana, ? On the Famicom from, late the following year, so Mega Man 5. What is this? We've got World Class Rugby? Yeah, World Class Rugby on the Super Famicom. You've got Sangokushi 3. You've got good old Game Boy Tetris, again, hanging on from even before Mario World. This might be the oldest title I feel like we have on here right now, is good old Game Boy Tetris. Again, not a pack-in game. You did not get a pack-in game with your Game Boy. You had to buy Tetris separately. What is this here? I feel like this is a Nobunaga game or something to that effect. We've got Rockman World 3, which is the third Game Boy Mega Man game. You've got the Namco Open, the Namcot Open, a Super Famicom, presumably golf game by Namco. It is a sports game here. It doesn't specifically say it's golf, but the word open definitely suggests that it is a golf game. And I think this is the one I have downstairs. I believe this is the one that came with the cards and the card reader. Dragon Ball Z. What is this first one? Maybe like Gekito Tenkaichi Budokai. This one where you scan in cards, which I have it, and I will stream it one of these days when we start doing Dragon Ball stuff. Pachio-kun Special, no doubt a pachinko game for the Super Famicom. What else? We've got, what is this? How to read this? Nandake Vulcan. It's, what is this? It's Assault Suits Vulcan, but I'm trying to remember the reading of it. Juso. Okay, yeah. Juso Kihei, probably Juso Kihei Vodouken. You've got Bomberman 93 on the PC Engine. You've got, the original Super Mario Land's on here too at number 29. Again, kind of kicking it since 1990 here. And then you got Super Mario USA. We were just talking about that on the original Famicom, which again, kind of a late comer. The cartridge version of that in Japan didn't come out until September 92. Cybernator. That's, yeah, I knew it had another name. I couldn't remember what it was. And let's look at this, and then maybe we'll go over to Star Fox. Let's just take a look at a few of these here. But this is the how to put it, the games that the most anticipated games in Famitsu. So the games that aren't out yet, but people are looking forward to the most, that have maybe at least some kind of tentative release date on the docket here. So lots of RPGs, as you can see just from a glance. But our number one most anticipated game is the Super Famicom remakes of Dragon Quest 1 and 2. And presumably it got that many readers who voted in for it. Hello. And forgive me, I'm not exactly sure how that's supposed to be read. My gut was N4PPY, the Ghost. Welcome back. I remember you from chat the other day. We're just we're going through. I know it says we got done playing Star Fox 1. We're going through some Famitsu here real quick, and we're gonna get to 64 here in just a moment. And we got a Shuchu right in the middle of Famitsu. So we were talking about Game Center CX, so why not? I got him sitting here. Let's apply. For those of you who know Game Center CX will absolutely know what I'm about to do here. They tell Arino at these live events to concentrate, Shuchu, and then he ends up with one of these bad boys on his head. And it is pretty hot in this room today, so I could use it. Thanks for that redemption, Ted Bob. I need the cooling effect of these nappy. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. I just wasn't sure how the four worked into it here, but glad I got it right. And yep, we got Seiken Densetsu 2, Secret of Mana at number 2. We got Mother 2, aka Earthbound at number 3. We got one of those Tengai Makyo games, a series that I'm actually not very familiar with. But this is the Kabuki Den one. I know that much. It's all about the character Kabuki, also on the PC Engine CD. You've got Super Famista 2, because this is Japan, and they got to have their baseball games on all platforms. But this is, the very popular Famista series from Namco, and its second, apparently, Super Famicom entry. Let's go back up to the top here. This is Ogre Battle Densetsu no Oga Bataru on that Super Famicom original, also very anticipated. Yeah, that Neo Geo fighting game did actually get localized, didn't it? How crazy that is that actually ended up happening. But we've also got Zen Nippon Pro-Res, All Japan Pro Wrestling on the Super Famicom. I'm guessing that was probably the first All Japan game. I am not very familiar with, if it's not a Kinnikuman game, and I don't know it when it comes to wrestling games. Like the Kinnikuman games I can get down with, but anything else I'm just kind of like, whatever. Yeah, it is a very strange decision. Like, why did someone look at that and think, you know what? This series has no like investment in the West, but like, we're going to localize that fighting game. Weird. Metal Max 2 on the Super Famicom is pretty anticipated, alongside with Phantasy Star 4, a game no one's ever heard of, surely. No, nobody likes that game. Silver Saga 2, I am not a Super Famicom game that I'm not familiar with by name, I admit. Yes, Ogre Battle March of the Black Queen, specifically. It did have that subtitle. I also don't have much experience with the Metal Max games too, if I'm being honest. I've always heard about them. I don't really know too much about them. Final Fight CD, now we're talking. Even though that game was not an amazing port of that game, but it had its problems. But neat that people are looking forward to a port of Jessica. That's right, she's in this game. This is the game she's in. It's Jessica. Very, very appropriate. You've also got a Dragon Ball Z Super Famicom game. What is this? Chobutoden. I believe this was the actual proper fighting game. Like, that is a more, like, that still gets tournament play, not one of those Butoden ones where you're, like, flying in the air and, like, dropping, projectiles and things like that. I think Chobutoden is the one. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I think I got that wrong. I think this is actually the first Super Butoden game. So the one that kind of started that line. I'm thinking of a different one, apparently. But yeah, those Dragon Ball fighting games are interesting. What ended up happening with those? And we saw an ad for it earlier, Jojo no Kimyo na Boken. It's that JoJo game. They are something. They are definitely something. Maybe not the Super Famicom ones, but I have absolutely ancient memories at this point of playing. What did we used to play, Ted Bob, on the PlayStation 1? Was it the Dragon Ball, the one that was loosely based on Dragon Ball G? Final Bout? Was it called Final Bout? I spent a weird amount of time with you and our friends playing that game, and like, boy, we sure did spend a lot of time playing those games that we probably could have spent in much better ways, but we got the PC Engine version of Ys 4, because Ys 4 has that thing where there was the Super Famicom, and then there was the PC Engine version of it. Different people like different ones better. You got Poppin' Twin Bee on the Sufami. You've got Dragon Knight 3 on the PC Engine CD. Yeah, I only had to wait 20 years for the Dragon Ball game that should have been made. Yeah, seriously, right? Like those old fighting games were also. Yeah, Ultimate Battle 22, I feel like, was the PS1 game that came before Final Bout. Did you? I don't remember playing that one at your place really at all. Like, maybe you have some experience with it, but I don't think we put the amount of time into that one that we did into Final Bout. Legends. Yeah. We did play Legends too. That's right. Was it that was a Saturn and PS1. I assume you must have had the PS1 game. Yeah, because you had the localized one, right? Or was it the Japanese one? Now I can't remember. I feel like you had the localized one though. Obviously Legends, you had the Japanese one because that didn't get localized. But Legends was the one where it was like, choo. There were like multiple battles going on in the air, and you were just kind of like circling around each other. It was a very kind of strange implementation of that idea. DBZ's Legends got an EU release too. Legendary Saint Super Warriors. People call these things different things. It is, yeah. It actually takes you through the series. I remember that. You kind of hit all the major arcs. We've got, what is this? Sotsugyo Graduation, which I think is a pretty well-known dating sim type game, also on the PC Engine. We got Final Fight 2 on the Super. I didn't realize. Look, 2. What a world this is in 1993. We have 2 highly anticipated Final Fight games on this list. You've also got, what is this? This is the one we were looking at earlier, the F1 Driver game. And you've got Sword World SFC, the one we saw Wink promoting earlier. And I think we're gonna let's actually play some video games at this point, shall we? We got one more video game that we wanted to check out here. And for this, Yeah, they did have a weird, like, weirdly late release for Ultimate Battle, didn't they? I forgot that they did that, like, trying to ride that Dragon Ball wave, I guess. Holy. All right, I got to do a little bit of setup for this one here. Bear with me, because I am actually playing this one from an Analogue 3D, and I have here... Here's our Analogue 3D. The thrill as we look in an Analogue 3D menu. Yeah, 64. What imagine that. And I am playing this with actually one of those 8-bit Do controllers that they kind of made in it, like a more sane version of the N64 controller, I guess you could say. I don't know if anybody's seen those, but I've got one of those as well that I'm playing this. I do have real N64 controllers as well, but I decided, why not, why not give this a try, right? And I've been doing my my practice on this. Oh, let me change the headers as well before we get into this. We're not playing Star Fox 1 anymore. It's Star Fox 64, Mom. All right. And I do not want to disappoint all of you too badly, but I am considerably worse at this game than I am at Star Fox 1. So get ready. Get ready. Hopefully I can not shame myself too much. But fun thing about this is that we are going to be playing the Japanese language version of Star Fox 64 today. As you can see on the screen here, this is the Japanese version. So maybe a little bit of extra fun. I hope it's extra fun. We need your help, Star Fox. We need it.
Fox, コーネリアのペパー将軍からのメッセージです。
急いでくれ。スターフォックスの将軍アンドルフが宣戦布告してきた。奴らはこの惑星コーネリアを支配し、ライラット系全てを我が物にしようとしている。我が軍だけではどうにもならん。
I think that's probably a pretty good volume level. But someone tell me if that's not the case. I love how it pans. Slippy Toad. Peppy hair. Falco Lombardi. Fox McCloud. Inna Slote. Star Fox. Cool. This is a little bit different setup for me when I do external capture because I have my own sound pumping directly. And even so, when I switch over to Stream Mix to listen to that, I have to turn that down, etc., etc. So just a few extra steps to be able to check that. All right, here it is. Oh, the US version is very, very well loved for its bad voice acting, and I debated. I was like, should I just do the English one? But I was like, yeah, I kind of want to try the Analogue 3D out, and I've actually got a Japanese cartridge. I don't have my second camera set up today, but there's a real Japanese cartridge sitting in my Analogue 3D over here. Oh, sorry. And we're not going to do training. And then, yeah, it has a versus mode, as I'm sure. I don't know if I've ever played a single person in Star Fox 64 versus mode, but maybe some folks have a different experience there than I do. Let's see here. We'll definitely be looking at my notes a little bit more for this one, because I am way less familiar with this Star Fox than I am with the original. I did not even put a fraction of the amount of time into it. Because again, like, different time in my life, I wasn't playing as many video games. I actually didn't get a N64 until quite a while later myself. My brother had one, but he wasn't too interested in Star Fox, so we didn't really play a whole lot of that. All he wanted to play was GoldenEye and Perfect Dark, just like everybody else who owned a goddamn N64. I had fun with those games. I'm not going to sit here and say that I didn't. There's James McLeod with the sunglasses. Pigma. We'll see Pigma later. Sorry, I'm not going to translate all this. It's just talking about how James McLeod and his squad like fell into Andross's trap and what have you. Sorry, Andorf. He's called Andorf in this. They actually changed his name to Andross for the localization. He's Andorf here. Yeah, Perfect Dark's good. I like GoldenEye and Perfect Dark. I'm not trying to downplay him. James no Musco, Foxu Macraudo. That narration. But it is like the classic answer, right? It's like, what did you play on the N64? Oh, I played GoldenEye and I played Perfect Dark, right? Yeah, I don't know if I have, as you can see, I have all of one medal on the save file. Go me. But also I've only done the easy route on this, and I will do the easy route tonight because I don't want to do that submarine level. Don't make me do the submarine level. Oh God. All right. There we go. And this is interesting because it takes a little bit different of an approach with the branching routes than the SNES one does. It's not discrete lines. It's like you can skip into them a little bit more easier by doing specific things in levels versus like taking warps or whatever, which is the kind of the only way you were able to do it in the original Star Fox, right? This opening is just not as hype. I'm sorry. Them coming out to like that Top Gun-ass song. Not as hype. Oh yeah, N64 has, like, that Mystical Ninja game is real fun. Of course, Mario 64 is fun. It's got lots of good stuff. It has Sin and Punishment, Sumitobatsu. A very, very good video game. Washimo Okeda. Here he is. Everyone's favorite. Daijobu, daijobu! Who is everyone's favorite member of Star Fox? I guess I'm probably gonna have to say Falco. Slippy! Oh, you weren't saying your favorite member was Slippy. You were saying, oh lord, Slippy. That's right, Slippy. Get your shit together, man. Fox. Respectable. Like, Slippy lost that much health in like the 2 seconds from when he said, ah, yabe! Like, Slippy, how much faster am I supposed to save you, brother? Like, what do you want? Are you crazy? And yeah, you got your charge shot in this one, which honestly sometimes I forget is even a thing. Because it just wasn't, you know, it wasn't there in the original Star Fox, really. Yeah, he's behind me. I did not kill him in time. The Lilac Wars. Oops. Yeah. Yeah, I actually usually just bomb these guys to get them off of Falco. And I didn't get him off of Falco at all, actually. I know. Oh my god, I think what I had to do there was accelerate a little bit and get to help Falco a little bit quicker. But I sure did blow, Peppy has a little bit of an old man thing going on, too, also. He says washi all the time. I guess he is the senior member of the Star Fox crew, to be fair. And I'm purposely not going under... Well, I didn't meet the conditions by saving Falco, so already I've, you know, blown my chance there to get the alternate route. Not that I was going to take it or anything like that, but... something in my eye. Crystal! Was Crystal in this game? I know she came a little bit later. Alright, and I think what, you gotta do your circle... Oop, that's the wrong one. It's been a while since I played this, bear with me. We're just gonna do some, redundant movement here. There we go. Yes. She can't... Oh, Star Fox Adventures was her favorite one. Okay. Or her favorite one? Her first one, even. Come inside! Come inside! I love that. I'm gonna sound clip that one. Andorov-sama! Come inside! Like, he's doing, like, a cute, like, I feel like this is, like, a take on Gomen Nasai, which is, you know, of course you're apologizing for something. Like a sort of cute version of it that was, like, in vogue in the Japanese language around this time. Because I think Celis in the Japanese version of Final Fantasy VI jokingly says Gomen Chai at some point, too, but hearing him just go, Andorov-sama! Gomen Chai! Is very funny to me for whatever reason. So Falco was out around because I didn't manage to save him properly. But otherwise, we're going on to, what is it, Meteo here. The asteroid belt. Rip Falco. He'll be back. He's just got to take a rest for a little while. Again, like, my biggest problem with these games is sometimes being, like, in the heat of it, okay, when should I really be braking and when should I really be accelerating? And for that, with how far Falco was in the distance, I think I needed to be accelerating to get closer to him for that bomb or for my shots to actually be able to take out the enemies on his tail. Because in Star Fox 1, it would have taken him a lot longer. Like, he would have had to have been chased by those enemies a lot longer. Yeah. Don't get carried away, Slippy. Get your shit together, Slippy. We all like to yell at Slippy. Let's be real, right? I think you can bomb here for some kills, because these asteroids like weirdly count as like kills. Ooh, okay. Like I said, don't expect me to be getting any medals here. That ain't gonna happen. I'm not nearly good enough at this game for that. I mean, I'd have to grind it, and I'm sure I could. But I did not do that level of practice. Yep, there's a big one coming from the front. We know. I can see it, Slippy. I can see it. Kairu Sanka. No, that's not the break. No, that's... I'm hitting the wrong buttons all over the place. I am not still fully acclimated to the joy that is the Nintendo 64 style button layout. I will admit. We got a message from what's his head here. Oh. He's gonna sell. Oh, you jerks are behind me. Spare parts. Support for the camera that apparently turns a player. Oh, really? That's interesting. All right, so I'm trying to take out the dudes behind you, man. Oh, you still got one on you. Okay. Now that Peppy is almost also dead. God, I'm gonna be left with only Slippy. I think Falco comes back next round though. Yeah, we'll be oh, I'll talk about that in a minute. I think we'll be swapping anime games and we'll be swapping anime games to Tuesday next week because Star Fox comes out next Thursday. So of course we want to do it on the day that it comes out, right? Alright, at least we managed to get him off of Slippy pretty quick. I can at least save someone! Not many people, but someone. Figures it just has to be Slippy, though. And I'm not really particularly trying to go through those things here either, because that's another route condition that you can get. No. Gold ring. Oh, these stupid things. And what? He comes from behind, right? It might be a female VA. I could see it. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you, but I could see it. Alright. I am 99% sure that this monkey guy's voice actor is the voice actor for... I forget the voice actor's actual name, but it's for Brooke. The same guy who voices Brooke in One Piece. Fairly certain. I feel like I recognize his name or his voice from a mile away. And of course he fakes you out. He says he's given up, but he's not given up. It's like, if this attack doesn't hit you, that is. And you just kind of zoom in on him and burn him down. I believe it is. I haven't actually confirmed that, but I am pretty sure. I know he's been a long working voice actor, and I'm pretty sure I'm right. I would put some money on it, as they say. All right, now betraying me as an old person, I guess. I feel like the worst I do in this game is when we get into the free-flying scenes, like we're about to a Star Wolf. I don't do well. I prefer the more on-rails scenes like we've had up until this point, where you're not really have to worry about doing turns and, okay, I gotta look at the radar map and now it's time to turn around. Like, my brain just isn't fully used to doing that in Star Fox. And so I feel like I kind of suffer for it. Even though I managed to get a medal on this stage somehow. I promise you I'm not good at it. And like, I kind of understand what I'm supposed to do. Like, you're supposed to get the members of Starwolf from a distance, so when you hit them and they do their flip, they're still in front of you, and you can just kind of go nuts on them. But I don't know. I don't pay enough attention to the map, I don't think, is what ends up happening, and this level kind of ends up being a mess for me more than not. And then all the nonsense with, you know, all of the teammates who are going to get into trouble about a million different times here. No, it's mine, Slippy. You can't have it. And you. And then I think we just got to get enough of these fools, and eventually Starwolf shows up, if I'm not mistaken. But I feel like this is where the lock-on shot really kind of shines. Oh, here we go. So saseruka, Star Fox. That's can't let you do that, Star Fox. Pippi. I love Pigma's voice in this. Pippi. And then, like, you still do have to be concerned with the regular ships as well. I think I can loop. Naughty! And then we get into this thing where I have to, like, figure out where the hell Slippy is at any given time, because... Alright, where are you, Falco? And there's Peppy had to leave, so we're doing great. I feel like I can just never really get them from the distance that I want to get them from. And like line them up quite the way that I intend to. Because I do the loop on them and then they immediately do the loop as well, so like... And it would help if I probably didn't crash into the ground also. That would be good. No, sorry, I know that's you. And see, like, he's kind of already gone by the time, and I'm starting to get time warnings and things like that, right? So... Oh god, now Slippy's down, probably largely it's my own fault. See if I can... And see, like, he's already behind me, already looping. So, looks like I'm probably not going to get Star Wolf in time, unfortunately. And, like, some runs I have with Star Wolf are really good, and some, like this one, are just kind of horrible. I'm just not really sure. Okay. At least I got fucking Pigma. Ah, I didn't get the last one in time. Zannen dattara, Star Fox. I think that just means they appear somewhere else later. Which, it is what it is. I had a really good run with him earlier in the stream. Or, sorry, earlier before the stream. This one, not so much. Luckily, the, even if you're playing on real hardware here, these analog products let you take save states even from real cartridges, so I need to... I guess I need to grind Star Wolf a little bit. Because I'm sure this new game is going to be way more like Star Fox 64 than it will be like any of the older ones. And now we just got Falco. The other two are down for a round. Which, what is this one? This one is, is this the... No, this isn't the Landmaster one, not yet. This is Sector X. Okay. Oh, this is going to be interesting to see how this is with only two... Or only one wingman. And this forks at a point. Falco goes left. I want to go right because I want to stay on the easy path, and God, hopefully I don't lose all my wingmen. Love how it just has like the wrench icon next to them. They're just fixing their ships. What do you mean? Whoa. Not really sure how you avoid all that. Seems like no matter where I dodge there. Boro janeka. It's all broken. It's all messed up. Oh, I did not mean to throw that bomb out there. I love mistaking buttons on the N64 controller because I'm not used to it. That's fun. But that's okay. Bombs are not... I know they say to use bombs wisely, but honestly, you don't need to use bombs that wisely. It's not really that big of a deal. Peppy's not here to yell at me after all, anyway. About my usage of bombs. The hell does he know? Stupid Peppy. Hold on. Something in my eye. Not conducive to playing Star Fox with things in my eye. Whoa. Oh. Large arm. Good. As I just slam into the large object. But Slippy, you're not even here. Are you back? You came back? Right? Bombs. What are you talking about? What was this one again? Oh yeah, this was the robot. Okay. Hakai Seo! Hakai Seo! Destroy, destroy. This is the robot that's incomplete or whatever. Jessica! Is that robot's name Jessica? Can we call it Jessica? Who is its creator? Is it Jessica? I love its little finger, you know, it does the finger wag in a second. Japanese script is better than the English script. That could be. I would say it's still pretty straightforward, given, you know, everything that I'm hearing here. Oh, that's right, he throws a thing. Nani ga hakai suda? Well, we're just gonna... Oh god. Oh god! Alright. Normally I take him out before then, so I'm not even used to him getting to his spin. Next is Landmaster, I think? Yeah, next level is Landmaster on the easy route. Daijobu, daijobu! Alright, so they can come back mid-level, which I don't think I remembered. So Falco's low, but he's still in it. I'm guessing Peppy will come back. Okay, he'll come back for the next mission. He'll have full health. Falco's health went up a decent bit because of my score there. The Landmaster I really have to remember to break, because that's the only way you can take out those large turtles. And I am also bad at the boss. It's trying to take me on a different route. Which I don't want to do. So I actually want to say, change course to the easy route. The easy route is the bottom one. And go. Apart from the really obvious lines that everyone remembers, like, I can't let you do that, Star Fox, and things like that, I barely remember anything of the English script. I hope the new game will allow a choice of voices. Sometimes you gotta, like, put your switch to the Japanese region or something to get that to work. Like, you won't just be able to pick the Japanese voices from the menu on a Nintendo-released game. You gotta, you gotta set your system settings, which is dumb, but... Ah! What's that? Oh god, I can't remember how to do the thing. What? Why did I... Oh my god, I'm hitting bombs when I don't mean to hit bombs. Bombo umaku tsukae. That's him saying use bombs wisely. Alright. Could have been worse. Could have been worse. No, that was not break. That was the opposite of break.
おまりを使え
How do you boost? It's these buttons. That's right. But now I'm like killing myself.
ローリングはレッドか
Not great. Like I said, I am not.
大丈夫だフォックス
No, I'm not Daijobu. You're making me pilot the goddamn Landmaster. What do you want?
大丈夫か
Daijobu janeo.
ブーストで切り抜けろ
Give me my health back. Ow, not the mines. Ah,
ボムをうまく使え
I know. Use bombs wisely. Get me to the checkpoint. Oh god, get me to the checkpoint. Stupid
敵をロ
Landmaster.
ックオンしては
I think that's what I'm supposed to be doing.
次のが来るぞ ぶつけいってくれよ
Alright.
後ろに使うぞ
This gold ring over here,
振り切
maybe?
れね
There we go. Now we're talking.
悪いが戦線より離脱する
I'm not gonna bother with, trying to climb up there to get the stuff up there. No thank you. Oh god, and of course I did a roll right there. Where every bomb in the world was. Oh god. Okay. Well, you saw what I was trying to do anyway. My timing was just not quite on. Alright. So now I gotta take out this jerk and his stupid arms. I know. Take out all of his arms, I know. Can I like bomb this guy? Is that a thing that'll work? Because I really do sort of hate this boss. Because I do not particularly enjoy being in the Landmaster.
モニターに表示するよ よーし遠慮はいらん胸をぶち抜いてやれ
Ah. Oh man, now I gotta do a stupid... Can I just bomb him again? Will that work? Not fully. Thank God. I know that was terrible, but when I'm at that boss, I'm just like, I just want to be done with this stupid boss. I just want to be done with the Landmaster. I know the Landmaster is better than the submarine. But something about it. Moving across the ground instead of moving across the air. Moving through the air. Moving in the air. At least we got everyone back now. So now what? We're on the defense outpost, which I think is where Starwolf comes back. Oh, Falco went down. Okay. So probably Starwolf's going to show back up in the defense post, which I'm not excited about because the defense post, being a 3D roaming level, I'm also not amazing at. But I'm typically a little bit better at it because it's more circular. You're just going around, you know, taking out the outposts and things like that, the pillars. Almost at Venom. Makasete kudasai. Leave it to me. Good luck. All right. We gotta break the barrier. Maybe Starwolf comes after. Yeah, I know. We got these gun turrets and things like this too to take out as well. But these towers are generally speaking what we're aiming for. And so, like, that's a little bit easier for me to deal with these 3D roaming levels because it's just kind of going around in a circle, at least for part of it. Yigasumonka! Almost. Oh, we still got one more, I think, at least. For whatever reason, usually the last one ends up being weirdly... Oh, actually, I should slow... No, not the opposite of that. Slow down. So I can get more... There we go. And I think this will be Starwolf. Or maybe not yet. Okay. This is right now, it's just... I'm trying to help all of you jerks. But I can't do it all at once. No, I did not. Oh, here they are. Asobi wa owari da, Star Fox. So are they the bosses instead of, Wait, hold on, so... Come on, Slippy. See if I can... Oh no, actually, I think I can just ignore... Starwolf, right? I'm trying to loop, please. Thank you very much. I think I can just ignore Starwolf and just focus on the cores. My father's waiting in hell. Okay. Okay, this is not great. I got like all kinds of... Slippy, I'm trying to just take out the cores so we can be done with this, alright? There. Now shut your mouth. They're off your tail now, aren't they? I expected worse, especially with having to deal with Star Wolf in there. Alright, now we just got Venom. Should be barrel rolling a little bit more. I should be, in fact, doing a barrel roll every once in a while. Maybe that's a little too much. Don't, how would you say it? Not fall down. Don't, not give up. Don't get taken down here. I'll be taking that. Thank you very much. No. I'll go after Peppy, thank you. Falco's route is usually more challenging. Whoa, 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 whoa. As I barrel roll again into the ground. Ah! The bomb appeared like immediately on top of me, like with basically zero time to react to it. Alright, this time I'll go with you, Falco. Yep, we got Venom. It's not too bad on the easy path, I think. Famous last words, but, though I chose Falco's path, which is a little more annoying. Jesus. I don't usually go this way, so I don't remember about all this. Alright, okay. Aren't you fast, Falco? Look at you. I saw a ring over there, which now I cannot get. I got so many ouchies. So many. Yeah, you're remembering what it was like to fight with my father. Great. Could you get health? Health? Is that a thing? Oh, there's the ring. Okay, let's get through the checkpoint and we'll get some health back here. Not quite all of it, but maybe enough of it. Oh yeah, we've got this weird running guy, which sometimes I do have trouble figuring out where I'm actually supposed to, where I haven't hit him yet. When he kind of gets down to the end here. I did not mean to do that. Alright, let's see his shoulders. This kind of lower body here. Where else? His other shoulder. Does the bomb do anything to him? Where's it supposed to be now? Is it supposed to be his head? Yeah, I think it's supposed to be his head. Oh god. There we go. Oh god, no, 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 no! Wow. Okay. It throws this impossible array of blocks given my position after I've already defeated the boss. Awesome. That's okay. Let's start low first. Shoulders. Let's see. Okay. This is not a fan of that. Okay. And now here. There we go, that's a bit better. And now that just leaves Andorf. Andorf-sama! Komensai! I'll have to see if anybody has a clean voice sample of that. Oh, thank you. My first attempt, not so good. Second attempt, better. There are just, it's the same in Star Fox 1, too. There's these certain bosses that are always like my trouble points. Probably I just need to grind on a little bit more, but... Alright, let's see, this is like a this, and then you gotta do this. There we go. Get ready for Andorf jump scare. This goofy face. Oh! I have to say, in a way, I almost appreciated more the abstraction that was his, this big polygonal face in, Come on, aim lower. Or are you showing me that hand now for whatever reason? Okay. Oh, okay, you tagged me with that. Oh. Andros punch! There we go. That's what I was expecting you to do. Not doing an amazing job of lining up shots on him, but... I think I need to, like, get over and down here. There we go. And it was punch! Oh. Wasn't ready for that one. There he is. And this is easy route, so there's not really anything more to him here. He doesn't have the multiple forms. He just kind of explodes, and that's that. Not as bad as I thought I would do, and I did badly on the spots that I thought I would do badly. So that's at least something. I'm curious after hearing this what people think about Japanese voice cast versus US voice cast. Obviously the US one is classic for how bad it is, so maybe that overcomes. But honestly, I don't have it's just kind of whatever for me. Either one is fine. I appreciate some of the English stuff more. I appreciate some of the Japanese stuff more. Yeah, Peppy, wasn't he kind of like, use bombs wide? Like, he was sort of like a, I don't know how to put it. Yeah, he was definitely less serious. He's more of like the older, wizened, you know, figure sort of voice in this one, I feel like. Which I suppose is what his character is supposed to have been from the start? And we have, if it wasn't very obvious that so much of Star Fox is based off of Star Wars, or is inspired by Star Wars, I should say, not based off of Star Wars. The metal scene at the end here should probably give that away. It's coming up in just a moment. Was it I think it was the intro to the original Star Fox, which was like almost seemingly one for one. Like it had the big, you know, the Star Destroyer coming in overhead and everything, and it's just like, wow, this is... We know what movies you guys are inspired by. We get it. Everyone was. It's understandable. Did anyone play a lot of versus mode in this at all? Oh, here we go. Did anyone play a lot of versus mode in this at all? I mentioned earlier, like I don't know if I played versus mode ever at all with anyone. And it's kind of hard. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know Ubersaurus was a big fan of this game. I love Pepper's voice. It's exactly what it should be. Oh, we got... Great Fox is ready for departure. We're going on our next mission. That's mercenary life. Yeah, was Muppy any good at this, or did you all just get slaughtered by Ubersaurus? Because I know he was all about this game. He was like the one getting the medals and, you know, all that stuff. So he was probably kicking butt. Yeah, that's kind of how I figured it went. I don't think I ever played him in this in Versus, and it's probably a good thing. Though I suppose, depending on how I feel about the Switch 2 game that comes out next week, I might I might get better at it in general. I don't know how much they'll change the I mean, obviously it'll be a different type of controller, right? It won't be the weirdo N64 button layout, but it might help adjust my mindset a little bit playing that version of the game a little more to be able to come back to this and be like, oh, okay, I'm less bad at this game now. Because the SNES one was just the 4 buttons. And so it was I wasn't really doing a lot of mistaken button presses like I was here. It's like, oh, I meant to hit Excel, but I hit bomb instead. Yeah, I don't remember a lot of N64 going on at your guys' place. We played, I think when Ubersaurus would bring his over, I think we'd play Smash Brothers sometimes. But that's all I really remember. Not a whole lot of other N64 stuff going on. It was a PlayStation and a Saturn house mostly. Yeah, it's certainly using the designs that are much closer to what the Star Fox characters look like in the movies. So yeah, I'm not sure how it'll turn out either, but you know, we'll find out in a little over a week, I guess. I can't remember where this ranks in. I think this is less than I got before, but let's see. Yeah. Okay, I'm hitting buttons. How do I get out of the thing? What is happening? Oh, that's that. Okay. Oh, there we go. So, that is Star Fox 64. And I think, like I mentioned earlier, we don't have the luxury of being able to do a Famitsu for this one, but I can tell you this. I have done a certain amount of research here, because sometimes you can find archived versions of Famitsu's old website, which did share scores, even if they didn't show the full cross review. So I don't know if they changed their scoring system somehow, because this would have been what you want me to play it anyway? All right, okay. We're not actually even looking at it, but fine. Famitsu check. Famitsu not check. But this one was this one 97? Yeah, it's crazy because all we would have needed is one more year of Famitsu from what we have up to right now, which is 1996. So we were so close, but we weren't quite there. But their old website, they've completely remodeled it now. And so I think this information is just gone. So you have to get it on archive.org. But Famitsu, in issue number 437, gave this an 86, which I don't know what that means. They must have changed their point scale. But their website said 86. And but usually given that the highest a person can score a game is a 10, at least according to the classic Famitsu scale, that would mean the highest a game can get is a 40. So I don't really know what 86 means. So we don't even really have much context for that, unfortunately. And I looked specifically for scans elsewhere of issue 437, and I couldn't find them. So unfortunately, from 1996 on, a bit of a Famitsu dead zone. One interesting thing, though, is they did, around this time, they continued the magazine. Right? I know. It's terrible. Nani? But around this time, they also started doing video content. So presumably on TV, though I'm not 100% sure if they were releasing videos or if they were putting it out on TV or what. A show called Game Catalog, where they would go and interview developers and, sit around like a table and talk about things. They still kept the magazine being published, but they also started doing this because they saw video as a more viable format. And so I looked at the game catalog episodes, all of which are documented on archive.org, so far as I can tell. So you can go in there and have a look at those. They did... I skimmed, because they did do like a few games worth of cross reviews, like on the video show. And so it would be like you'd have the 4 things and then you'd have score numbers come up. Star Fox 64 was not on there. I looked at like 4 or 5 episodes around the time it would have happened, and they did not rate it on the video program. They did talk to Miyamoto at a trade show. Maybe it was like a Space World or something. They had like a quick interview with Miyamoto on there showing off Star Fox 64, but they did not give it a score anywhere in there. So I cannot, I tried, I tried to dig, even that deep, but sadly it was not to be. So we won't, for now, really be able to know exactly what Famitsu thought of this. And I looked for issues of Nintendo Dream, which was another magazine that was out around this time. None of the there were some issues from 97 that were scanned, but none that would have had a review or any kind of mention of Star Fox 64. So again, I came up empty-handed there. I tried and looked up every avenue that I could think of for magazines that would be talking about it at the time in Japan, and there was just nothing scanned. So, and I'm not about to go out in Yahoo Auctions or Mercari for every one of these games that I were missing scans for. Like, I don't got that much money. I don't got that much time. So waiting for the scans, which will hopefully come one day. But I'm gonna wrap it up here in a second, but I just wanted to mention, so Thursday we're gonna continue with Urusei Yatsura anime license games as usual. So last time we finished what was it? Stay with you, something like that. The PC Engine CD-ROM game. We went through that to completion. We saw the ending. You can look that up if you weren't around for it. So the next game is going to be on the Game Boy, and then from there we will get to My Dear Friends, which is the Sega CD one that I think more people have been waiting for. And then we got a DS game, and that's it. That's all the Urusei Yatsura games. So I'm thinking maybe 2 more streams-ish. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Thursday. We're going to continue with Urusei Yatsura, but from next week, Star Fox comes out on Thursday. So what I might do is swap our days for next week. So this Thursday will be anime games, and next Tuesday will be anime games again. And then Thursday we'll do the new Star Fox, just so we can kind of do it on release day and have it be somewhat contemporary with launch there. So that's the plan. I hope you like the Game Boy, and it looks like the Game Boy one is a dungeon crawler RPG that has no walkthroughs. So I cannot make any promises we are going to play that Game Boy game to completion, but we'll give it a good honest try so we can get to Dear My Friends, which is apparently what people really want to see. And yeah, Endless Summer, I haven't looked up. I don't have a physical copy of that. I don't know what it runs for, but I set up DS emulation, and it seems to be working just fine. So we're gonna do things that way for Endless Summer, and then after that, we're gonna move on to probably Fist of the North Star, I'm thinking. So it got an Italian fan translation. Interesting. I scoured the internet through for Japanese walkthroughs on that game. I found nothing that even resembled a full walkthrough. There was a person who claimed to have written one in English, and it is now, the link they gave is disappeared. So that an English language one doesn't seem to exist either, crude as it may have been. So we're really going to kind of be flying by the seat of our pants, and we'll get as far as we can and give up when we give up, and then move on to the Sega CD. So that's my promise to you. So yeah, we'll see everybody again Thursday for more Urusei Yatsura, and thanks for turning in for Star Fox. Bye-bye.